Hi, it's Mae Bush, former COO for Morgan Stanley Europe, and now executive coach, speaker, author, and CEO of Career Mastery. When you're in a new, bigger role, there are all sorts of challenges that come with it, whether it's figuring out your new job, winning over new stakeholders, or maybe simply transitioning out of your old job so you can take on the new responsibilities. And there's so much more. But in my experience, the biggest, most difficult challenge people face is showing up as a leader at the next level. This means elevating yourself in areas like your presence and profile, your ability to communicate with impact and gravitas, your ability to influence outcomes, and your ability to think strategically and have vision. So this is what I've discovered through my own career and also through the experience of the people who have been in my Next Level Leadership program when they first started. So what makes it so difficult to show up as that next level leader? Well, there are 5 areas that I think are the most important areas. First is stepping up into a new role of any kind at the next level means that there are going to be new opportunities as well as new pitfalls. And you won't know all the rules of the road and you won't necessarily know what to expect. Sort of like playing video games where you've just made it into that next level up and you don't quite know what is going to come next. The second difficulty is that the stakes are a lot higher. Your sphere of influence just got expanded. So you may be even managing people and functions that are new to you, that you are no longer the expert in. And everybody is watching and wanting you to do well and make an impact, so all eyes are on you. The third thing is that therefore you're probably doing a lot of things for the first time, whether that's thinking strategically at this next level, or maybe it's managing people. Maybe you managed a small team before and now you're managing a large team, or maybe you managed a large team but now you're managing managers. And that makes it hard to have confidence, which is the fourth difficulty. Because when you're doing a lot of things for the first time, you're bound to have some things that don't go quite as well as you would like. And that can start you to doubt yourself and start questioning. It can even turn into full-blown imposter syndrome, which is never very helpful. Which leads us to the 5th point, which is that you can't be sure who to trust. Because you need people to turn to for advice. But now your old network of support probably isn't fit for purpose anymore because you're now at this elevated level. So what is the solution? The number one thing that you can do to be successful in stepping up as a leader to that next level is to put together a brain trust, to be part of a brain trust. What do I mean by brain trust? Well, these are a group of people who you can trust to help you navigate the path at this next level. And to do that in the right way so that you can succeed at that next higher level as a leader and be seen as that next level leader. There are 3 kinds of qualities you need in this brain trust. First is you need people who have relevant experience of being at those next higher levels. Second, you need people who can be impartial in the advice they give you. And third, you need people who can keep things confidential because you need people you can confide in who really understand the situation you're in. So this is where it's really important to look beyond just your internal mentors and sponsors. They're super important, of course they are, but you want to look beyond the internal folks to also have this external part of your brain trust. This is so important because while internal folks can have the experience, that piece about it being impartial and also being able to keep things confidential is very hard to achieve with just an internal brain trust. And despite the very best efforts and best intentions, what I found was people internally, when I was coming up in my career and getting to the next level, they each had their own perspective, their own lens, their own axe to grind. So it wasn't that they were trying to give me bad advice. It's just that their advice was colored by coming from the perspective they were coming from and knowing the organization and where they sat within it. So when you are part of a brain trust, an external brain trust, the benefits are tangible. And to give you some examples from the people who have been through my Next Level Leadership program, they had real results in 3 areas: confidence, clarity, and courage. They had the confidence to get beyond their imposter syndrome. They had the confidence to reach out to any senior stakeholders and advocate for what they and their teams want and need. They had the clarity on how to set their vision and strategy. They had clarity on how to get their new boss on side when the old boss left during their transition. They had the courage to confront a former peer who was undermining them and actually get him to change his behavior. And they had the courage to make the tough decisions that they used to kick upstairs to their boss. So if you're in a new, bigger role or about to transition into one, then congratulations. And if you'd like to know more about how you can be part of the Next Level Leadership program and our Brain Trust, then stay tuned. I'll be making an announcement in early November. That's when we'll be taking applications for our next cohort. In the meantime, keep learning, keep growing, and keep going.